This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Oreninc, Mr. Kai Hoffmann.
Gerardo, thanks for having me, man.
Hi, how
Thanks.
are you?
Doing great. It's wonderful out here. Just look behind us. It's fantastic.
Absolutely gorgeous. We're here at the 2019 Beaver Creek Precious Metal Summit. Tell me a little bit about your impressions this year. We were here together last year. We were busy last year as well, but it seems a little bit different temperament this year.
I think activity has picked up. Obviously, gold price to blame for that, I think. They added a third day here at the conference, and people are making use of it. So full meeting schedule. It's like 3 days full of meetings. It used to be 2.5, and we're just there. And there's interest. People do have full schedules. Companies,
that was my
everybody.
question. You're seeing interest.
Yeah.
People are busy.
Oh yeah, and a lot of corporates around here as well, looking at junior companies. Some companies have full schedules just with corporates as well, and the big names are out here, the B2 Golds, the MFOs, the Aussies.
Sure.
They're here.
Sure.
So.
Let me ask you this. I introduced you as the CEO of Oreninc, but you wear a lot of hats.
I do.
For those not familiar with you, can you give us a little bit about your background and the many things that you're doing in the space?
Yeah, it's like Oreninc is part of the SOAR Financial Group. It's a conglomerate of 3 companies. I started out in the industry doing investor relations, corporate communications. We still do that. Right. We also run a couple of newsletters out of Europe. Yep. and a blog, and then Oreninc, as you mentioned, the data company out of Vancouver, where we track financings and try to make sense of the whole mess here.
Let's talk financings. We have a better precious metal sector. We have a tough base metal sector, which is different than the last time we spoke here last year, because it was the complete opposite. The precious metals were struggling, the base metals were catching a bid, copper seemed like it was ready to break out, and then of course we know the trade war happened and is ongoing, right? Let's start with precious metals. Have you seen an uptick here in the past 6 months specifically in financings?
We've seen a fantastic summer actually. If you're looking back in May, I gave a presentation as well. I was quite pessimistic about looking forward, and especially the summer months, and I expected very low lows in our index, and I was predicting almost all-time lows. But the sentiment changed. Gold started to run $250. We're trading close to $1,500 today. When we last spoke in May, I think we were trading $1,180, $1,200 gold, right? Things weren't too bad, but there was no interest, right? All of a sudden, $1,500 gold, people are looking at it. We're still missing the generalists, but we've seen financings happen. It's still taking a long time to fill the good financings. Like New Gold took forever to fill. It was a $150 million bought deal, and others are still, like Grassroots Explorers, they still have a hard time finding dollars on the street.
Let's talk about the quality of those financings. Are companies still having to give away those 3 and 5 year warrants?
They still do, but I've seen more and more financings without warrants, and companies are trying to push for that, obviously, and that shows strength and good quality of projects usually. Excellent.
We're in the middle of what I think is a pullback in the gold price. It ran up too high, too fast, I think, right?
It did, yeah, and it missed. A lot of generalists missed it, and a lot of people still don't trust it. That's why we still have a hard time closing financings quickly.
Sure.
They're open too long. Sometimes deals have to be repriced. I haven't seen it too often, fortunately. But as I mentioned, that New Gold financing, that bought deal was too open. It was open too long, in my opinion. So.
Okay, let's talk base metals. Obviously, completely opposite of the precious metal space. Last year, financings were everywhere. Everybody was attaching copper to their name, and bad timing, right?
Oh, yeah, we've been joking with companies here at the conference as well. They just rebrand and just take that out of the name again, and once it becomes fashionable again, just go back to it. But yeah, it's just not in fashion right now. Like trade wars are partially to blame for that. It's just no interest. People don't know where zinc, copper are heading. Yes, there's demand. The battery space is sort of slowed down as well. The demand from there is it's tough to forecast. Everybody sees it coming, but we haven't seen a breakthrough yet.
Let's talk about companies you like. We talked about the fact that you wear many hats. Any companies that stick out to you that you're following, that you cover, that are maybe clients of yours?
Yeah, no, it's we had a couple good meetings here as well, and I'm here to meet a lot of new deals, just to get a good overview, and not just for the IR side. That's secondary to me here. I also represent a fund out of Germany, so we're looking for opportunities and ideas. Obviously, I'm biased because some of my clients I actually do quite like, as I should, and I hope others agree with that as well. But like Cartier Resources is one of the clients that I like a lot. But another company I like is Integra. They're not a client or anything, so I own shares, so full disclosure.
Excellent recent PEA?
Yeah, the PA looked fantastic. I think that company has a lot of room to grow. Developing the project out in Idaho. I think you follow Idaho companies quite a lot, quite closely. So I'm a big fan of management team. I've known them for quite a while. So those are 2 of my top picks, I'd say, in this space right now.
Excellent. As far as sectors go, are you biased right now? Obviously, there's a precious metals bias. Are you being cautious in that sense? Are you completely staying away from the base metals, or are you dibbling and dabbling?
Right now, I don't see a sense to go into base metals. Because the problem is when you do financings, and I try to do quite a few, because you get sometimes better terms, you get a warrant attached to the financing. It makes sense, but we don't have a base metals market, as you said. Why wait for months? And you're stuck in the stories, right? That's one of the downsides, and been having conversations with people, it's like, oh, they don't do private placements in general anymore because you're stuck to the term, like the 4-month hold terms and everything. But my problem with that is like, how do you advance the company then if you just buy in the market?
Sure.
You need both, right? So my personal focus, I've been doing quite a few financings in the gold space.
Perfect. Where can people find you, Kai?
Oreninc.com or sorefinancial.com.
Fantastic. Kai, pleasure as always. And thank you. All right.
Appreciate it.